Everybody gather around.
Yeah, hi Steve.
Hi Adam.
How are you keeping?
I'm doing very well, very well. How are you?
Yeah, very good. And hi everyone, and welcome to the Elvis News, February 2025.
Hello everyone.
It's been a big January, really, hasn't it, in the Elvis release world for us in his 90th year.
Yeah.
But where do you want to start? There's quite a lot landed in the UK in January, isn't there? Some pretty fine releases.
Yes. Shall we start with the FTDs?
Yeah. Sounds a good place. There's plenty of it. What about The Last Tours Volume 2?
Excellent.
For anyone who's not seen it, it's a 3 CD set this time, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, instead of the 4 from Volume 1.
Yeah, it's a really nice series too. I'm really pleased to have these.
Yes. Sound is incredible. I'm really impressed with the sound.
Yeah, it's been much improved, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's a really good balance of instruments, good mix. Elvis's vocals and backing singers. You've not got JD being too loud or anything being too quiet. It's just a really, really nice mix. Very pleased with both sets.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice to have what they've got all together as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got a variation of shows. Okay, the variation of tracks doesn't change too much. But there are some nice highlights on this, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. I particularly like Steamroller Blues. That's the. I have to put my glasses. I think it's the Austin concert. He does. He does That's All Right, Mama and Steamroller Blues, and I thought that was really, really good job. Very impressed with that.
Yeah.
There were times, to be honest, Adam, on this set, and people really kind of. It's very mixed, isn't it? People either hate 77s or like take or leave it. I found that Elvis's voice at times, you couldn't tell any difference between listening to a 72, 73, 74 show than listen to Elvis in 77. His voice was that good. And there were other times, other shows, he was a bit breathless. But I'm just generally very pleased with everything. I don't think there's a dire concert here at all. So, yeah, very happy.
No, it obviously slowed right down a lot in 77. But I'm the same. I'm quite impressed to have these in this format. And I agree that March, is it the 28th in Texas, with Steamroller on? I think that's the highlight show for me of the of this release.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And I must admit, I was listening to it all in the car again, and I got to that show, and he got to That's All Right, and it was like, I don't know, it was like a really big lift, you know. And I think the Steamroller is probably my favorite performance of this set.
Yeah, mine too.
I used it in my unboxing video. I thought if I was going to highlight something from this set, it was that track to let everyone listen to. But I can't wait for more of this.
Yeah. There's obviously going to be the March. I know we're already on March. It's going to be the April, probably May, but I don't know if there's any soundboards done in May. It'd be interesting to see if we get anything new that's not been out on previous bootlegs.
Yeah, and then it's going to be really interesting what they're going to do when they get to the in-concert period. I mean, are we going to finally get the two shows remastered properly?
Yes.
You know, we've got the original album, which always sounded fine to me. It was, you know, it's one of my favorite records. I had it early on as a kid. A family member gave me a mint copy of it. So I've grown up with that TV special, and you know, I mean, obviously these are mono soundboard recordings.
Yes.
And they're very good for what they are. They're never going to be like the 1970 quality stereo mixes we get.
Yeah.
But my only downside with these is, and it can't be helped because they weren't recorded. They haven't got the openings.
Yes.
Now some people might say, well, I'm sick of CC Rider and I Got a Woman.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. And
it was a favourite part of the show to me.
Is it?
Just two songs I absolutely love.
Okay.
I want to hear every version of it, every little bit of change in phrasing, and
that's also the only downside of these series as well. To me, is obviously the set list is going to be pretty. It's going to be an A sort of set list, and Elvis would add a few songs every now and then to change up the repertoire. But he always did Jailhouse Rock and Little Sister, It's Now or Never. And another interesting thing is how edited are these copies that we're getting? Are they still being edited from whatever was recorded on the evening? Because as far as I'm aware, Elvis reprised Hurt almost every night. And he would say, do you want to hear the last part again? We've only got this once on these two volumes. And that was on the first volume where they treated us with the Elvis reprising, where he goes ends with an even higher note. So are we being given edited versions from what was officially on the soundboard? Yeah. I suppose some people that have the original recordings on bootleg would know that answer. I do have some of them on tape, but my tape player is broken, so I can't play and hear it. But I do. That's another thing I do wonder is how much has been edited from the original soundboard recording.
Yeah, I think it's a general discussion in the Elvis world, isn't it, about little edits on things and everything not being complete. Yeah, and I think something else I forgot was the Alexandra show. That's quite a highlight where he starts with quite a funny "Why Me, Lord?" interrupting JD. But then goes into a gospel section and does Bosom of Abraham and You Better Run.
Oh yes, of course.
And then How Great Thou Art. Now the audio quality is not quite as high as the Austin one with Steamroller, but it is good. It's good to hear that section.
Yes.
In here, so I think that's the other highlight to me.
Yeah, very, very good. Very happy, and we get some really nice photos as well, don't we? They're good quality images of Elvis in '77. That I think. Yeah, I'm just very happy. Very happy. Brilliant product. Well done, FTD.
Yeah. What a way to kick off, really.
Yeah.
I think it is more for the serious fan, these sort of releases. If for any new fans, I'd probably just say go and find yourself a CD or an LP of Elvis in concert if you want to hear a mastered versions, a professionally recorded version of these type of concerts. I'd definitely steer new fans there.
It's a winner.
Yeah, brilliant release. Roll on Volume 3. Where do you want to go next?
Let's do King Creole.
King Creole, the monster.
Yeah. I haven't read all the book. I've read the first probably about 125 pages. It is as expected with all of these making of books, keeping in the beautiful quality that FTD have been giving us. I just open the wrapper and take the book out, and the smell just tells me it's quality.
Yeah, I'm not going to show it all now. I am going to make a video of unboxing it all and everything that's in it.
So I've read about the recording sessions, and I've read about the first few scenes, and already I'm learning the stuff that I'm learning. I was particularly interested in some of the deleted scenes. The one where there's a scene where Elvis and Dolores Hart go to the hotel room on their first, when he picks her up from the store, and naturally Danny's intentions is to get her into bed, but Dolores's character is really sort of obviously a very more decent, sort of keeping with that era type of girl. But there was a scene where that was going to be a closer finale than what actually really was. That it got to the point where she unzipped the back of her dress, and it was actually Elvis that said, "This isn't fitting. This doesn't work. It's a complete contrast to the girl's character." Right from the store to when Elvis meets her outside, we've already established that this character is a decent girl. She's a homely girl, and for her to then just all of a sudden walk into a hotel room with someone she's just met and then go that far, Elvis was saying it just doesn't make sense. It grates. It's not natural. So they decided to delete the scene on Elvis's request. So there's things like that I find really interesting. It even shows us continuity bloopers where there'll be things where Elvis was holding a particular vase in the drugstore, and then it cuts to another scene and that vase is different. They've given him the wrong vase to hold. I never picked that up, but that's actually, you can see that in the final release. So I'm going to look out for that.
Yeah.
So just things like that. It's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. And I will confess, and you know this as well, Adam, that I was on the fence with this for a long time. I was struggling with the cost, especially at Christmas. All of my Christmas presents came in the form of Girl Happy and California Holiday and the 2 on tour sets. And I had to muster up money to pay for this. And I was really struggling with that concept, because how many more big, thick books do we need in a collection? But I really enjoy them. At the end of the day, I just really enjoy these sets, and I like them. I like to have them in my collection. So I did it. I bit the bullet, and I'm glad I have. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think I've not read the book yet, but it's nearly 400 pages, isn't it? So it's a cracking book, and I see these making ofs as almost like the final version of what you need on these releases, and I thought, they are really nice to have in a collection. You know, they do, you know, they do cover a lot of ground with them.
Yeah.
And it's like the music section that comes with it. We know virtually everything that's available is already out. But they have found some acetates and added some extras onto here.
Yep, we got a bit of gumbo, turtles, and what have you.
Yeah, show this a bit better. So inside you've got a 10-inch Japanese replica record. And you've got the 2 CD. And you've got these novel little film strips, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's just quickly show the record. Yeah, it's nice. And quite like the records behind it when you take it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just those little touches that give it that luxurious quality, doesn't it?
It is, and very impressed with this. It sounds superb.
Mm-hmm. I've not played mine yet, to be honest. I will do.
Oh, it's cracking quality. Really, really mint.
Good, good.
And I think that's when FTD released the King Creole, the mono mixes.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first single vinyl they released, wasn't it? In the FTD vinyl, everything was like a double gatefold, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And then King Creole came out as a single.
Single, yeah.
And I always thought, well, why didn't they release it as a double like the rest with the standard soundtrack on one of the LPs and the mono mixes on the other, and then it would have been the complete set, if you know what I mean, as an FTD release. But I'm really pleased they put this in. You know, and over the 2 CDs, I think now we've got everything, haven't we, that's available.
And who knows, if they discover the outtakes somewhere in a can, that would be absolutely amazing. But I somehow don't think they're going to come across them. They've been deleted somewhere, maybe discarded, thrown away, destroyed. But what a find that would be. To get the outtakes of that session would be incredible. Oh,
I mean, that band that he had with him, with the horns and everything in a Dixieland flavour. You know, I'd love to hear the making of like New Orleans and Dixieland rock, and
you know,
yeah. And what I love about the audio with these as well is you get all those demos as well, and you get to hear what was presented, and it's a very, I mean, a lot of them sound like classical R&B songs, don't they?
I've not heard the demos yet, to be honest. It's a CD I've not got round to playing, but I will do as I'm reading the book. I will put that on.
I would actually say if the demos are released as an album, I'd quite enjoy it.
Okay.
As an album on its own. I mean, it's quite surprising how much Elvis changed them to be sort of Elvis songs, but also so he didn't sound like any other R&B singer. You know, it's like you take a classic track like Jailhouse Rock. There's no one in the world who can sing Jailhouse Rock other than Elvis. You know, because they're just poor imitation. No one can sing the song. You know, no one can give it that guts and raw that he had. You know, and I've heard some pretty good people try.
I'm going to say something, and I'm going to make for the people that are watching this, if they can make comments, because I was talking to my friend Paul about this. You know how Dixieland rock and Jailhouse rock, they're almost identical, aren't they? As sort of like rhythms and melodies and so forth. And the opening of Dixieland rock, the very first time Elvis sings Dixieland rock, it always sounds to me as though Elvis says jailhouse as a sort of almost like a bit of a comedy thing, and it was kept in. I cannot hear anything other than Elvis singing jailhouse, but I don't know if that's because my ears have taught me that. I have no idea. So I would love to hear other people's opinions. Does Elvis sing jailhouse instead of Dixieland? The band, the backing singers obviously say Dixieland, but it sounds like Elvis is going jailhouse instead of Dixieland.
I'm going to have to listen to it now after this.
Please. The highlight, in my personal opinion, this has been the release. I've enjoyed everything that FTD have done and given us, but I think if I had to choose one, this would be it. What a cracker. What a treat that was, and unexpected, to be honest. When it was announced, I really was not expecting a Go Happy session.
I wasn't at all. I was really amazed when this was announced. So we've got the Girl Happy sessions over 3 CDs.
Yeah.
Now, where I might say this release is for the big Elvis fans, collectors, I would say the King Creole and this release are for anyone, really.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, they're that good. And if you're interested in hearing more of Elvis recording in the studio, what a release! So, and for me, it's quite surprising how well it's been received by everyone, because I'm not. Some fans have put the Girl Happy album up in their top 10 soundtracks. For me, it's never been one of my favorites, just because of the way it was released, how edited all the tracks were, and the speeded up tracks. It's always an album I've enjoyed, but it was always, because of those reasons, it wouldn't go in my top 10.
Yeah, me too. Exactly the same, Adam.
Yeah. But if you made the album off the recording sessions, I could easily see that being in my top 10.
Yes.
And
yeah,
doesn't it sound great? I mean,
and the difference when we get the unedited versions where Elvis didn't sing live in the studio but put his vocals on to the track. We've got Wolf Calls Starting Tonight, I've Got to Find My Baby, Do the Clam, and The Meanest Girl in Town. They were the culprits mostly of being hacked to death by whoever it was decided to edit them. But when we've got these full unedited versions, unfortunately though, they're lacquers rather than master tapes, so they're in mono. But they are different songs when we get to hear this. I'm amazed we've never heard this before. Maybe they have, maybe I've just never noticed it on a bootleg somewhere, but I have never noticed these coming out in their full glory like this. They are different songs. They are so much better in their original format of how they were originally recorded. What a revelation that was. And like you, Adam, it's made it a really enjoyable soundtrack now, whereas before I hardly played it because of the way they were just so badly treated, badly recorded, badly edited, sped up. Yeah.
It's like you finally get all the dynamics of musicians in the studio. You can it has some welly to it and thump that wasn't there. And listening to Elvis's vocals, he sounds back in the early 60s, not in the mid 60s, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I've always thought when the Collector's Gold box set was released and they gave us a Take a Girl Happy in there, and I listened to that and I thought, wow, you know, I've got to hear more of this. But then you sort of forget about it, really, I suppose, over the years. And it's good because I've heard a lot of people, a lot of YouTube channels rave about it and say it's one of their favorite sessions so far.
Yeah.
And when you consider all the sessions we've had,
it's a big ask, isn't it?
That's some, 36 takes of Do Not Disturb. I mean,
but it took to like take 10 before Elvis actually attempted to sing the first line. He couldn't work out where he was meant to come in on the intros. And it's fascinating. He got so angry at times as well when he just couldn't get those timings, and he was you could hear the anger in his voice, but also he would laugh at himself.
There's talks about he was pretty upset in that session that Hal Wallace had done an interview and said he only used Elvis so he could make proper films. And I think because it's not a Hal Wallace film and you hear Hal Wallace being mentioned in the session takes.
Yes.
And I think they'd all been talking about it and semi-laughing about it. And I think he was pretty peed off Like yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm out of here. I'm going. And I think you can hear that frustration in Do Not Disturb. That he's like, why am I singing this song? And type, but it, you know, and it's fascinating to hear him getting a little wound up and stress. I mean, Elvis had knocked out so many different melodies. I mean, there wasn't a melody he hadn't sung. For him to feel like that with a song.
What can you say against it? It's just fantastic. I love this. This is my favorite so far. I know we're only coming to the end of January, but wow, I'm happy with 2005 already just because of this. Brilliant stuff.
All we need now is a Blu-ray release of the film.
Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, because it's actually a good film. It's quite funny.
A lot of people rate it as a better movie, and I think film critics as well, rated it as a sort of perfect vehicle for Elvis. He just was good at, natural, but it's not a film that's been re-released on DVD a lot either. You know, in my cabinet of DVDs behind me, I mean, I had a quick look before we came on, and I think I've only got it in one set, which was a US one to import.
Okay.
That's due a good Blu-ray, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd get that.
Yeah. So 3 releases in. I mean, it's not bad, is it?
It is. Yeah, it does beg the question, what's next for FTD though? Are they going to give us another last tours, or are they going to give us a break from that and come up with a different soundboard again from a different year?
Well, first off, I mean, you just don't know when the next announcement's going to come, because they just seem to hit us, don't they?
Yeah.
If they carry on releasing records, double sets like this that came out in December, I'd be quite happy.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like another 2 or 3 LPs next year or this year. I think I'd love a GI Blues, because that would sit nice with the Blue Hawaii. I'd like all the GI Blues sessions in order, unedited.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. And so that probably could lead us on to the next big release of the year, is the 69 book and CD vinyl, which I probably I will have to leave up to you to talk it through, because I haven't got it and I couldn't afford it. I had to choose one or the other, and I think the King Creole was the winner. But it looks beautiful as a package. It does look very nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's I am currently making a video trying to put one together, but it's taking, there's so much to try and cover and record properly with it. So this is the let me just get rid of that. So you've got the box set, you've got all the nice Vegas replica stuff that comes with it. This is the book out of the record that comes with it. And what have you got? You've got the is it August 3rd show on vinyl?
Yeah.
That's on 2 records. The sound's really good. What I like about those shows is the arrangements they used on a lot of the tracks. I mean, Elvis is treating Memories and Love Me Tender and all those with a bit of seriousness, you know.
That's correct. Yeah.
as the years went by and he's performing non-stop, obviously those songs got a bit looser, and the pace of the shows had to keep a momentum, didn't they? Really. So I think they changed. So it's nice to hear those arrangements. Elvis's vocal sounds good. And with this set, you get the book. It's probably the biggest version of the book that Gravel Road have done.
Yes.
I'm quite a fan of the Gravel Road releases.
I've got all of the Gravel Roads to date, apart from the 69. I'm hoping they will release the 69 as it is in just the book rather than the great big package, because I would like to have that book and CD set. So that's all the 4 so far, and we now got the 5th 69. But
yeah,
I've not been able to get it, so it's a real shame. I hope they do release just the book.
Yeah, I do think you can buy it separately already.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because I'm like you, I've got all those other book releases. And I know some people have sort of said, well, why didn't they release it as a bigger book and everything? But for me, this is going to sit nicely with my other collection. And yeah, I think you can. You get, this is probably the biggest release they've done, really. And it's their first venture into vinyl as well. So you got a 2 CD. It includes interviews and things pre-show, some Sammy comedy sketches, and but then you also get it on DVD and a Blu-ray. The Blu-ray's missing. It's in my Blu-ray player at the moment. And again, they've put together pretty much all the 8mm footage there is available. So sort of made it into a nice sequential journey through the 69. There's footage of the Elvis signing the contract and building the hotel. I quite like the opening scene where you've got someone driving through Vegas, filming the strip.
Nice.
And then you got some fan footage showing Elvis arriving at places, getting out the car. And it sets the scene, really, where people are getting out the car and the names come up. It's almost, I don't know, it's almost like you're being set up to watch a film. These are the main players, and then I almost felt like we're going to go into a Tarantino film at one stage with the opening. But yeah, it's taken me a while, but I am putting together a detailed video to come up soon. But the final one is just as Marmite as the by invitation only. Not just in colour. But as you can see, I've got the other 4 releases behind me.
Yeah.
And this completes the set. 5 song 78 singles. Again, expensive, very limited. Was it 125 copies of each?
Yes.
So, I mean, Graceland released a limited edition 78, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is only one-sided, and that's collectible. There was some splatter versions of the 78 release as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Then there was a box set of the singles release, wasn't there, in America, by a company?
Yes, that's right. And you got your little center that goes in the middle of of the record, and they had a little cockerel on it or something like that. It looked a nice product.
Yeah, I quite like that centre. I'd like to get one of them individually. But, but again, it's all those releases are novelty, really, aren't they? You've all got it. So which ones do you buy? It's up to you, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Scenes they're so limited, and they are the first liquid vinyls of an Elvis record. Why not? So anyway, I'm glad that's complete. So then we got the future releases. What's been planned and announced so far for the coming year? One big one that you touched on was the Clambake box set.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's from the Elvis Files team, isn't it?
And they always do good stuff.
Yeah, Eric Lorenzen always does some pretty quality big book sets, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe this one's been 3 years in the making. It's been quite a body of work, and it's probably going to be the largest collection of unreleased Elvis images in a book.
Okay.
I heard. It looks pretty stunning, and that comes with a record set, doesn't it, as well, 2 LP.
Do we know what's on that? Is there anything unreleased, or is it all just the usual?
I'm not too sure. I've not seen a track listing yet. I believe I believe everything's in. Well, the hype is full stereo, but I would probably expect it to be stereo. It's probably been remastered in some way, and I believe it's going to be the original soundtrack and some session takes. But I think as some more news comes out, and that will keep everyone updated.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's going to be available from Chris Giles at the Elvis shop in London.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be Easter's sort of being talked about. It's definitely going to be an Easter to summer special, isn't it? That's what I would imagine.
Okay.
So that's one I'll get when it comes out. Again, like the King Creole FTD, like the By Invitation 69, I quite like these sets that concentrate on a certain period of his career. And then also from Eric, we've still got the TCB tapes to come.
Yeah, the 74, isn't that? A couple of shows from 74 being released.
That's right, yeah. What have we got? I think the first one's 2 LP gatefolds, which is a Memphis concert. And then you've got a 2 LP, and I always struggle saying this, Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro. Yeah. It's the equivalent of Americans trying to say Worcester.
Yeah. So we've still got those to come out at some point this year. Maybe they're going to hit us round about March. Now I have been lucky enough to hear some audio samples of those, and they sound fantastic. They really do. So I'm really hoping the files that I've heard, it comes out on the vinyl really well, and they are great sounding concerts.
And they've been released by FTD, haven't they, previously? But I think the Murfreesboro was, a lot of people complained about the sound running slow on the Murfreesboro, however you say it, concert. So it will be interesting to see how these compare.
Yeah. I have done a little comparison already. And these sound like stereo masters in comparison.
Wow. Okay.
To me, they sounded that good.
Okay.
To the point where you could pick up Elvis's phrasing and things in the vocal that you probably haven't heard before in these shows, you know. So I was very impressed with them, and I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, they sound really good.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be available in black vinyl and coloured vinyl. And I think the coloured vinyl's sort of to match the jumpsuit from the shows.
That's right. Nice little touch, really.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Another thing that's coming up, and it might be the end of the year. I don't know if it'll go into next year or not. Talking to our friend David in Japan. He's currently translating all the Japanese FTD world books. This is a very early black and white version, but they did go to colour. And he's bringing them up to date to the latest release. So whatever the latest release might be at the end of 2025 will be included. And again, really handy, nice paperback books. I think they're going to be very cost effective. They're not going to be budget killers, and they'll probably be released in 2 volumes to cover it all.
And will that all be in Japanese, or is it going to be Japanese and English?
No, they're going to be English versions only, I believe.
Okay, right.
So it's basically he's redoing them for our market, and he's doing a lot of research as well and adding a lot of as much information as he can on them that's been discovered over the years, you know, and highlighting any reissues and slow speeds and anything.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and we'll keep you updated as we go along. Then I'll try and get an update from him every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. I've got to dig.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for this morning.
Pleasure. Talk to you soon, mate.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Have a good day.
All right.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
All right.
Mama's little baby loves clam bake. Mama's little baby loves clam bake too. Mama's little baby loves clam bake. Mama's little baby loves clam bake.